A very warm good morning to all of you, and I welcome you all back once again in my English video. And in this video, we are going to take the worksheet number 34 for today. In this worksheet 34, it is about tenses. It is a new lesson from your English language, and today we are going to discuss about tenses. Okay, there are many kinds of tenses, but many kinds and forms of tenses, but today we will only learn the main three tenses, that is present tense, past tense and future tense, and we will be going to learn only the simple form of these tenses. In term 1 you will be getting the simple forms of these three tenses, and in second term you will be learning more about these tenses. Okay, so now let's start. This is your worksheet and you have to do this work like I have done in your worksheets. Like you will be getting, you will copy down all this work in your notebooks as it is. You will not leave anything, because I have tried to summarize this chapter. I have tried to summarize and write precisely this chapter in a note form, so that you need not to open your books. It is good that you open your books and read more about these tenses, but I have tried, if you are not having book, I have tried to write down each and every important thing about the tenses. Okay, so let's start. The introduction is, mainly there are three tenses, that is present tense, past tense and future tense. Now we will talk about present tense, past tense, future tense. What are these? And also we will be going to discuss these tenses separately, one by one. Okay, so first, present tense. We use present tense to talk about action that takes place in present time. Okay, when we use present tense, we use present tense when we are talking about the action. You can say that the verb in the sentence. We use a verb or a action word in a sentence for you telling the present tense when we are talking about that action or that verb has taken place in the present time right now. Okay, past tenses. We use past tense to talk about action that took place in past time. Past time means the time which has gone. The time which has gone is your past time. So we use past tense to talk about all those things or all those actions which took place in past time. Now future tense. Future tense. We use future tense to talk about the action that will took place, that will take place, T-A-K-E, that will take place in future. Okay, so in future tense we use when we want to tell that this action or this verb, you can say verb or action, will take place in future. Future means the coming time. Future time does not means tomorrow, day after tomorrow, after a year or a month, but it can be after a minute also. Future means it can be after a minute also, 1 hour also, 1 day also, and it can be a long period of time also. All right, so future means the time which is about to come, which will come. So these are your three tenses. Now let's study these tenses one by one separately. First of all, it is present tense, simple present tense. So I have told you that we will be just going through the simple form of these all tenses. So first we are going to take simple present tense. Now simple present tense, use of simple present tense. Now these tenses have different uses, you all know. All right, but where do we use these tenses? Okay, so first we will discuss the uses. Where do we use these tenses? Then only you will be come to know that how we can use these tenses properly, in what sentences or in which sentences we can use these tenses. Okay, so let's start. Simple present tense. It is used to express general truth, habit, routine, or regular action. What does this mean? That simple present tense we use in those sentences, or we use to express those sentences, those things which shows general truth, habit, routine or regular action. What does this mean? Habit, routine and regular action. Habit means, you all know, if we are talking about an action which we do regularly, that becomes our habit. Okay, like I sleep uh, at noon. Okay, this is my habit. I read a book before going to sleep. This is my habit. So, and a habit and routine is also, I go for a walk daily in the morning. This is a habit also, this is a routine also. I go to school daily. This is also a habit or routine, or you can say regular action. So those things which are in your habit, which are in your routine, or which are your regular actions, okay, those things or those actions we say in simple present tense. Second thing is journal truth. What is journal truth? Like those truth or those actions which will not change, um which were in future, which are present in time, this time, and which will be remain same in the future. They will not change. Suppose I say star shines in the sky. So in the past also star shone in the sky, today also it is shining, and tomorrow it in the future also it will be shining. Okay, so it is a truth, it cannot be changed. So these type of journal truths, or you can say universal truth, which are which will not change in future also, which will remain the same for the longer period of time, or you can say will never end till this world is there, till this earth is here. They will not change. So we can say that they are universal, or you can say journal truth. Like uh, so now let's take the examples. First is Dia reads lot of books. Now Dia is your subject. Okay, you have studied about subject and predicate in your previous chapters. Okay, so Dia is your subject. Subject, maybe I will just give you one revision also about the subject. Subject is the noun. Subject is a noun about whom you are talking in the sentence. So subject always remains in the starting of the sentence. Subject is on the starting of the sentence. Subject can be somebody's name. You can, and it is a noun. Actually it is a noun or a pronoun. So if it is a name of a person, place, animal, or thing, it is a subject. You can also call it by the pronouns. You can keep the pronouns. So the pronoun is he, she, it, they, we, I, you. These all are pronouns. So in the place of subject, you can place somebody's name, you can put common noun, proper noun, all right, and also you can put any pronoun also. So these are your subjects. Then subject, then it's a verb. RADS, reads lot of books. Now this sentence, what does this sentence means? That this sentence is showing that Dia reads a lot of books, means it is her habit. So habit or regular action. So this is an example of simple present tense. Next is sun rises in the east. Now this is the general truth. Sun always rises in the east. It will not change. Okay. Sun rises in the east. I meet him daily. I meet him daily. It is also a regular action, that I meet him daily. So basically, okay, let's study the structure and the formation of these sentences. Now, first of all, I would like to tell you that every sentence in every tense has three forms. How many forms are there? Three forms are there in every tense of every sentence. Like if I'm talking about simple present tense will be written in three forms. What are those three forms? Affirmative, or you can say positive, negative, and interrogative. There are three forms of sentences in every tense: positive, negative, and interrogative. What are these? Positive sentences, interrogative sentences, and negative sentences. Now, positive sentences are also known as affirmative sentences. You also call them affirmative. Okay, so now here it is a structure plus example of simple present tense. Now you can see there is a box made here. You will also make this box or column like this, and you will write all these things like this only. It will be make easier for you to understand the sentence structure. Okay, so I have made a box here. I have written I, you, we, they here, and then I have drawn a line here. Then there is written he, she, it. Okay, why I have done this? Because these are your subjects. These are your subjects. These are in the first column. I, you, we, they are a plural subject, and he, she, it are your singular subject. Plural, or you know what are plural? Plural means more than one. Singular means one. Okay, so I and you. Now you will think that I is one person, and you also we call for one person, for the person we are talking to. Okay, so I and you also come in the category of plural subject always. Okay, so I, you, we, they are plural subject, and he, she, it are singular subject. So you have to be very careful about the subjects also, because the verbs we use are a little bit different when we use with plural and singular subject. You can see here I, you, we, they, okay, like ice cream. Now I have said that every sentence is having one subject, then one verb will be there, and also one object. So object is the rest of the sentence after the verb. Okay, now I, you, we, they like ice creams, full stop. Singular subject he, she, it likes ice creams. Now one thing you will notice here, that for plural subjects I have written like. Okay, verb like here I have written verb like, but in singular subject I have written s, likes. So this is the main difference when you write sentences in simple present tense positive sentence. What is that? That whenever you will write the verb with plural subject, it will be in plural form, and whenever you will write a singular subject, the verb will be s will be added to the verb. Now here I like ice cream, you like ice cream, we like ice cream, they like ice cream. But in singular it will be he likes ice cream, she likes ice cream, it likes ice cream. It means whenever you are using a plural subject, you will not write s with the verb. Verb will be in the base form. Okay, base form, root form, or you can say verb will be remain in the first form. And when you are using singular subject, you will add s to the base form of the verb. Okay, now the structure we are following here is subject. This is your subject, this is your verb, s or without s. Without s means we are using plural subject, and with s we are using singular subject. Then plus object. Object is ice cream. Okay, so this is your structure. Structure means when you will if you learn this structure properly, and if you will practice making sentences according to this structure, you will find it very easy to make sentences also in each tenses. Okay, now one thing I want to tell you, that as you use formulas in maths, okay, in language when you are doing tenses, you use these structures to create sentences. So you don't have to do anything. बस आपको क्या करना है, ये जो आपके जो स्ट्रक्चर है इसके प्लेस पर आपको वर्ड्स रखना है. यू हैव टू कीप द वर्ड्स इन द प्लेस ऑफ दीज things. All right, you have to place a subject in the place of subject. You have to keep one verb in the place of subject according to the subject you have chosen, and also the object. So like here I have done here, for example I have chosen the subject they. Okay, they. Then I have chosen one verb, drink. It's up to you. You can take any verb. Okay, you can take any verb, but the verb should be according to the subject. If you are taking the plural subject, you will not add s to that verb. If you are taking singular subject, you will add s to this verb. Now, they drink. Now subject, and this is verb, and juice daily is your object. Now the sentence is they drink juice daily. With singular subject, she drinks juice daily. Okay, have you understood this much? Now let's move on to the negative sentences of simple present tense. Now here again I have drawn one column or box, you can see. Plural subject, singular subject. Plural subjects are I, you, we, they, and singular subject are he, she, it. Now, when you are doing negative sentences, what you will do, you will just write I do not. You will write do not with negative. Now, children, negative, what does you mean? What do you mean by negative? Negative means that you are saying something, you are saying no to something. Okay, you are saying no to something. So not is the very important part of this negative sentence. Not आएगा ही आएगा negative sentences में आपके, ठीक है. And what you have to add, do. What you will add, do not. It's like in the positive sentence, what you were writing, just subject, verb and object. What you have to do in negative sentences, you have to just add do not. Because it is negative, you will add not. Do not. Plural subjects, for plural subjects you will write do not, and for singular subjects you will write does not. Okay, so the structure will become subject plus do not or does not plus verb plus object. We is your subject, plural. So if it is a plural subject, we are using here do. We do not go to church. Now verb will be in the first form only, and here like in the positive sentences, what we were adding s to the verb when we were using singular subjects, right? But whenever you are using do or does, you will not use s with the verb. You will write just verb without s. Like here, we do not go to church. She does not go to church. Do not and does not. Do not with plural subject, does not with singular subject. And the verb which we will use will be just base verb of the base verb. Okay, without s, because we are using do and does here. Is that clear? Now, next is interrogative sentences in simple present tense. Now again, interrogative sentences, you know that interrogative means questions. Okay, so first thing that in interrogative sentences you will write question marks at the end, you all know. And let's see the structure. Now the structure is plural subjects here and singular subjects here. Plural subjects are I, you, we, they, and singular subjects are he, she, it. Now what we were using when we were writing negative sentences, we were writing do not and does not. So again here also do we will use with I, you, we, they, that are your plural subjects, and does we will use with he, she, it, that are your singular subjects. But we will not use not here. Not का use हम interrogative sentences में नहीं करेंगे. Why? Because it is not your negative sentence. We will remove not and we will just use do and does. Do I like ice creams? Does he like ice creams? And then question mark. Question mark are the very important part of your interrogative sentences. And full stops are very important part for your simple sentences that you make affirmative or negative. Okay. Now let's see the structure. Structure is do, does plus subject plus verb plus object. Again here in the interrogative sentences also we are using do and does. Okay. Then we will not use s with the verb. We will write verb as it is in the first form, or you can say base form. Okay. Example, do you read newspaper? Does she read newspaper? Do with plural subject, does with singular subject, and verb are as simple. Okay. Now, next is your simple past. Now, I hope you have understood your simple present tense. Okay. Now, in the revision part, I will be explaining you this chapter again. So, right now, let's move on to the next tense, that is a simple past tense. Now, simple past tense uses of simple past tense. Simple past tense are used to express actions that took place in past at some time and are now and are over now. That means all those actions which took place in past पहले हो चुकी हैं एंड दे आर नॉट कंटिन्यूइंग राइट नाउ, वो अब ख़त्म हो चुकी हैं, वो पास्ट में स्टार्ट हुई थी एंड दे एंडेड इन द पास्ट. ओके, दे आर नॉट in action now. So we use simple past tense for those actions. Now, what are those actions which took place in past and are now over? Those, when we are talking about past habits or past routine or past actions. Like in simple present tense, we were talking about things which we were doing in routine, habit, which are in our habit, all that. And those habit, actions or routine which were in our past, we talk about simple past tense in those sentences. Okay. Now, let's see the three kinds of sentences that are made in simple past tense. Now, I have told you that every tense will have three forms or three kinds of sentences. First is positive sentence, second is negative sentence, and third is interrogative sentence. Okay, positive, negative, and interrogative. Positive sentences are also called affirmative sentences. Now, let's see the structure. Structure, again, I have told you plural subject and singular subjects. We have to be careful about these subjects. Now, simple past is very simple. I, you, we, they walked to the shop yesterday. Now, what is the difference between the simple present tense and simple past tense? In simple present tense, we were using the first form of the verb. Okay, and in past tense, simple past tense, we are using the second form of the verb. All right, and rest of the thing is same. Plural subjects, second form of the verb and the object. Singular subject, second form of the verb and object. Okay, so here in the simple past tense, we don't need to just be careful about plural subject and singular subjects. Both the singular and plural subjects, for both the singular and plural subjects, we use the second form of the verb. Here there are no changes. Okay, now let's see the structure. Structure is subject. This is your structure. These are your subjects, plural also and singular also. Verb in the second form. Verb in second form. In both the subject, with both the subjects, we are using the second form of the verb. And object. Object is the rest of the sentence, whatever you are writing about this subject. Examples, they laughed at her. Now, they is your plural subject. Laugh is your first form of the verb. Now, I have added ed, that means it has become laughed. And this is your second form of verb, laugh. Laughed at her. At her is your object. She laughed at her. Okay, she is your singular subject. Laughed is your verb in the second form and at her is your object. Next is negative sentences in simple past tense. Negative sentences in simple past tense. So, here again I have drawn a box, or you can say I have drawn a column here. Again, plural subjects, singular subjects, like this. What change I have made here for negative sentences? Look carefully. In the simple past tense, positive sentence, we were using subject and verb second and object. Only three things were there. subject plus verb second plus object. Here we are using did not because I have told you it is a negative sentence. So negative needs not. नेगेटिव में आपको नॉट की ज़रूरत पड़ती है. जैसे आपने सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस में क्या था, डू नॉट एंड डज नॉट फॉर नेगेटिव सेंटेंसेस इन सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस. इन नेगेटिव सेंटेंसेस इन पास्ट टेंस डू एंड डज विल चेंज टू डिड. डू और डज जो आपने सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस में नेगेटिव के लिए यूज़ किया था, आपको पास्ट टेंस में वो डिड में चेंज हो जाएगा, नॉट सेम रहेगा. ठीक है. व्हाट यू विल राइट, डिड नॉट एंड did not for means you will not change anything in negative sentences. Plural and singular subjects use this did not. Okay. Now the structure is subject plus did not plus verb 1 plus object. Thing you have to remember about this negative sentence in past tense is that the verb, you have changed do and does in the did. Okay, do not change to did not in past, does not change to did not in past, but the verb, you can see here I have written walk, walk. In the positive sentences we were using verb in second form, but in the negative sentences we will not use the second form of the verb, we will use the first form of the verb. Why? Because we are using did here. Whenever we use did, do, does, did, we will always use the first form of the verb with all these verbs. Okay. Now did not walk, did not walk. Plural subject and singular subject, same thing will go. We did not know this thing. Plural subject, he did not eat pizza. Singular subject, both are using did not. And the first form of the verb. Second form of the verb know is knew. And second form of the verb eat is ate. Okay, so you can notice here, you can see here that I have used the first form of the verb know and eat because we are using did in the negative sentences in past tense. Have you understood? Now let's move on. Interrogative sentences in simple past. Now interrogative sentences simple past, again nothing you have to do. We were using did not in negative sentences. Now you will remove not from those negative sentences to convert negative into interrogative. You will remove not and you will place this did before the subject. In every interrogative sentences, just remember one thing, that in every interrogative sentences, the subject is placed in the second place. Like this is the first, this second. Okay, so subjects are placed secondarily and the verbs, these helping verbs, these are called helping verbs, are placed here before the subjects. So this is an interrogative sentence, so we will have to use did, then we will use the subject, and then we will write the object of this subject. Again we are using did, so we need not to change the verb form. Verb will remain in the first form only, and this did will go with plural subjects also and singular subjects also. Did plus object, sorry, this is subject, here it will be subject. Did plus subject plus verb first plus object. Did I taste it before? Question mark, very compulsorily. Did she taste it before? Question mark. Okay, so the structure is did plus subject plus verb 1, that is base verb, plus object. Okay, now let's move on to simple future tense. Simple future tense is used to talk about the actions that will take place in future. We use will or shall to express future actions. We use shall mostly to ask questions and I with I and we. Now the future tense we use when we want to tell something about future. Those actions which will take place in future, आने वाले टाइम में जो काम होने हैं उनको हम क्या करते हैं, फ्यूचर टेंस में बोलते हैं. Okay, so what we use to express our tense, to express our actions in future tense, we use will or shall. Will or shall means we are talking in future tense. Will or shall represents that the sentence is in future tense. And the very most important thing, that shall is mostly used with I and we. Shall is used with I and we, and whenever we are asking questions we can use shall with I and we to ask questions. Okay, now again here the sentences in simple present tense. I have told you earlier also that every tense has three forms of sentences, that is affirmative or positive sentence, negative sentence and interrogative sentence. So first we will see the positive sentence, that is affirmative sentence in simple present tense. This is a plural subject and singular subject. Now here again singular and plural subject will use will. Okay, we don't need to be careful about what we will use with plural subject here, what we will use with singular subject here. So verb will be used here in first form and we will use will. Will denote, will express that you are talking or you want to say something about the future. I will go to the doctor tomorrow. You will go to the doctor tomorrow. For singular subject, he will go to the doctor tomorrow. She will go to the doctor tomorrow. So will you will add and you will write the verb in the first form. Here also you don't need to add s or without s with the verb. Just write the simple verb, base verb form. Structure is subject plus will plus or shall. You can write will also and shall also, plus verb 1 plus object. I will buy a computer next month. He will write a letter. Okay, so you can see buy and write are your verbs and these are in the first form without any s. Here it is only you will add s to the verb only in the simple present tense positive sentence. Okay, just remember this thing, that you will add s with the verb for writing simple present tense positive sentence and in that where the subject is singular. Okay, now let's go to the negative sentences of future tense. Again here I have told you that negative means not. So in negative sentences you will write not. Okay, and will not. What you will write? Will not. Will, like it was in the positive sentence, you have to just add here not. Will not go. Structure is subject plus will not plus verb 1. Verb will remain in the first form and object. They will not sing tonight. It will not break like this. It will not break like this. So you can see I have used a will to express the action which will take place in future tense, future, and also the verb is in first form, sing and break. Now let's see the interrogative sentences in future tense. Again here I have told you that interrogative sentences means questions. Okay, so in every interrogative sentence what you will do, you will change the position of subject and your helping verb. Like in simple present tense you are changing do and does, in past tense you are changing did, and future tense you will change will or shall. Okay, so these all helping verbs will come in the first place. Like here subject will go to second place. So will plus subject plus verb 1 plus object. Okay, will you talk to the teacher? Question mark. Will she drive the car? Question mark. Okay, so talk will is your question. If you are asking interrogative sentence, if you are making interrogative sentence, will come in the first place, then you and she are your subjects, which will come in second place after this helping verbs. Then the subject, then the verb in first form. Talk and drive are in first form. Then to the teacher and the car are your objects. Clear? Now let's see the exercise here. Now fill in the blanks, choose from the bracket. Now here only one exercise I am giving you today, and we will be taking other exercises on this tenses in revision part. Okay, so you have to choose the correct option from the bracket. Now the office is the office dash in the morning. Now whenever you are filling the sentence or you get these kind of tenses, this kind of exercises for tenses or based on tenses, you just keep your mind open and just recall the structures you have read. Okay, the more you will practice these structures and sentences making, the more you will be good at, you will get better in tenses. So don't read this sentence just simply, the office dash in the morning opens. Just keep this thing in mind that the office is your subject. Then when you will be keeping like this the structures here in the sentences, in the place of sentences, it will be easy for you to answer. Now the office is your subject, and office is singular. Okay, singular subject. Dash in the morning. Now open and opens. Because the subject is singular, what will come here? Opens. The office opens in the morning. Ajay dash healthy food. Again, Ajay is your subject and it is in singular form. So you will write eat or eats. Eat. Ajay eats. S, because it is a singular subject. And this is in your simple present positive sentence. We dash sleep early. Now again, this is also in present tense, but which tense? Simple present tense negative or interrogative or positive. Here the options are do not and does not. That means it is a negative sentence because there are does, do not and does not. Now do and does. You should know that if the subject is plural, we use do not. So what will come here? We do not. Do not because of plural subject here. If there was some person name, singular name, or she, he, it, then the answer would be does. Next is dash she speak English. Again, she is your singular subject. Here it is in second form. Now here it means it is a question mark. So you have to write do or does. So it will be does. Okay. Next is Rahul and Raman dash to park today. Now the options are went and go. Now here you can write went also and go also, but we will use went. Rahul and Raman went to park today. Okay, you will not write go today, it is past. Danny dashed the last train home. Catch or caught? Caught, because we are talking about past. C-A-U-G-H-T. Dash we dance well. Do or did? Do or did? We will write subject is we. That means subject is we, and we will write did we dance well. Okay. Did Priya and Neela dash loudly? Laugh or laughed? Laugh. L-A-U-G-H. Why? Because we are using did. Okay, we are using did here. So we will not use the second form of the verb. Did Priya and Neela laugh loudly? Okay, if we will use ed, it will be wrong, because here we are using did. So with did, we don't use the second form of the verb. Always first form of the verb is used with did, do, does, and Now ninth is I dash call her tomorrow. I, you can write will also and shall also. I will call her tomorrow, or I shall call her tomorrow, because shall we use with I also. She will dash a new dress. She wore or wear. Now here it is will, that means we are talking about future tense, so the first form of the verb will come here. With will, we always use the first form, not the second form. She will wear a new dress. Dash she go to the party? Shall or will? Because it is she, if there would be I or we could use shall, but it is she, so we will use will. Will she go to the party? Will you dash dinner? Will you take dinner or took dinner? Will you take dinner? Why? Because took is the second form of take, and here we are using with will. So will always takes the first form of the verb. So will you take dinner, not took. Took is the second form, and we need a first form of the verb with will. So will you take dinner? Now I hope you all have understood this chapter, and if not, we will be revising it in your revision worksheets. Okay, so no need to worry, no need to panic. Just revise this, just do this worksheet in your notebooks very properly, neat and cleanly, and also till I give you revision, keep on practicing this structures along with the sentences. Try to make sentences according to the structure. When you will do writing practice of the structures, okay, then you will be able to learn them easily and quickly. So if you will do like this, there will be no problem to learn tenses. So till the next video, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.